candidate for the United States Senate for this year. I was born and raised in Windsor, Connecticut, which is the oldest town in the state of Connecticut, established in 1633. I went through public school system there. I went on to college at Southern Connecticut State University in New Haven, Connecticut. And then after I graduated from Southern, I went on to law school at Howard University in Washington, D.C. As you can see, a lot of attorneys running for office. In my third year of law school, I joined the military, and I became a Judge Advocate General Corps attorney for the Navy. I did that for 6 straight years, from 1998 to 2004. In 2004, I switched from the Navy to the Army and became an active duty Judge Advocate General Corps attorney with the Army. Good move! Did that for 6 straight years and got off of active duty in the summer of 2010. I've been deployed around the world, as you might imagine. I've lived overseas. I've lived in 8 or 9 different states, practiced a variety of fields of law, including being a prosecuting attorney, international law attorney, administrative law attorney. I've done federal contract law, federal fiscal law. I've been a base or installation attorney, staff judge advocate, which is like an in-house attorney for a base or a command. So I've got a pretty diverse legal background. How many veterans do we have in here? Raise your hand if you're a veteran. Okay. All right, you guys know what a staff judge advocate is. Got off of active duty in 2010, started my own law firm in downtown Hartford. It's a general law practice where we help small businesses and families navigate this bureaucratic maze we have here in the state of Connecticut. So that is my educational and that is my professional background. Now let me tell you why I'm running for the United States Senate. I'm running for the Senate because this country is in serious trouble. And I don't think the average American understands the complexity of the situation that America finds itself in today. We are on the decline as a nation, as countries that don't have our best interests are on the rise. You couple that with the fiscal crisis that we're having, a $15 trillion debt, a $1.3 trillion on average annual deficit. You couple that with the fact that we have in our inner cities children in schools that look like prisons and prisons full of kids who should be in school. You couple that with an entitlement mentality that is settling into our citizens, especially our youth. And by that I mean there's too many people out there who expect something for nothing. There's too many people out there who expect others to do for them what they should be doing for themselves. There's too many people out there who have grown too comfortable living off the generosity and or sympathy of others. We've gone topsy-turvy in America, where we've gone from rewarding success to penalizing success. We've gotten so bad that success and independence is penalized, and failure and dependency is rewarded in this country. And that's a travesty. This is not the country that I dedicated 12 years of my life fighting for this country because I believe it is the greatest country in the world. And I hate to see it turned into something that it's not. We're going down the wrong path, and that's why I'm running for the United States Senate. I passed out some slides. I would rather answer questions and give a long monologue, so I'm not going to talk too much, but I do want to let you know why I'm running. People ask me, why are you running for the Senate in particular? Why don't you go run for some other position, a lower-level position? And I tell them that I'm concerned about national security and foreign policy, and I'm also concerned about the appointments that we're making coming out of our Senate, especially these lower-level court appointments, because we've been getting some wacky decisions from some of these lower-level courts because we got people that are not qualified to be on the court serving in the court. We also have people in these agency positions that are not qualified to be there, that are there, and the United States Senate votes on those nominations. So that's why I'm running for the Senate in particular, in case any of you were wondering why. And something that's not being talked about at the national level is that whoever the next president is, regardless of who it is, will have one or more appointments to the Supreme Court. Now you don't hear too many people talking about that. It is possible that if Obama is reelected, that this court can flip from 5-4 conservative to 5-4 liberal. And it'll be 10, 15 years before that's flipped back around. And you don't hear any of these candidates talking about that. That's a major, major issue. Make no mistakes about it, folks. Obviously, the #1 issue in this election is the economy. Obviously. But this election is more than the economy. This election is about the steady, progressive erosion of civil liberties and constitutional rights. This government, this administration wants to dictate how many calories in a Happy Meal. They want to dictate what you can do in the privacy of your own home. They want to dictate how you can raise your kids. They want to dictate what your children are taught in school. They want to dictate what procedures your doctor can offer you when you get sick. But more importantly, they want to dictate the winners and losers in society, and that's not right. I don't think that's right, and I think we need to change the people in Congress, and we need to change the president out of the White House so that we can get this country back on track. It's very simple. The solutions to our problems right here in Connecticut and the solutions to our problems in Washington are very simple. If you change the people, you change the policies. If you change the people, you change the policies. And so what we need to do as a party is do the things necessary to get our candidates elected. Because it doesn't matter what we say on the sidelines, it doesn't matter how principled we are, it doesn't matter what our theories are on the Constitution. If we're not in office, we cannot affect change. So we got to do the things necessary to affect change. Why do Republicans keep losing in the state of Connecticut? Why do Republicans keep losing in the state of Connecticut? I submit to you that that Democrats don't defeat Republicans. Republicans we defeat ourselves. Why? Because we bash each other. We bash each other. You see what's happening at the national level. Our presidential candidates are bashing each other, and what are they doing? All they're doing is driving up Obama's polls. That's all that they're doing. We cannot bash each other. All right? We have to stick together. There are less than 250,000 of us in this state. We are the minority. We cannot win unless we get votes from conservative Democrats and those independent voters, and we've been failing to get them. Why? Because we've been putting up the wrong type candidates, quite frankly. We've been putting up candidates from Lower Fairfield County. They dominate our primaries, they dominate our conventions, and then they end up losing the general election. And we got nothing to show for it. We got to do things differently, folks. We got to start going to those areas where we've been neglected. We got to start reaching out to the disparate interest groups in the state if we expect to win. We got to start doing better in our cities. We can no longer just get 10% of the vote and expect to win. The key to winning statewide elections in the state of Connecticut is in those cities. It's just that simple. It's not rocket science. So we got to do better. We can't write off these cities. Why can't we write off the cities? We need the votes out of the cities. Why should we be going to the cities? For three main reasons. Number one, we can get votes in the cities, contrary to what you've been taught. We can get votes in the cities. There are people that will vote for you simply because you shake their hands. That's it. You don't need to do anything except shake their hands and ask them for their vote. There are people that will vote for you because they like your message. And believe it or not, the Republican conservative message resonates in the city. We've just been neglecting and taking that message out. And three, there are people that will vote for you, or they won't vote for you unless you give them something. I'm not suggesting that you give them anything, but the point is there's a way to get their votes too. And the Democrats do a very good job at giving voters things in the cities in return for their vote. So we can get votes that way. Second, by not going into the cities. Let me say it again, by not going into the cities. What the Republican Party does is reinforce the negative image that the city dwellers already have of Republicans. That means we allow the Democrats to do our marketing for us. We allow all of the lies that they tell about Republicans to go unchecked and unchallenged. That means when they go into the senior centers and they tell seniors that you want to take away their Social Security and Medicare, all that stuff goes unchallenged. When they go into the black churches and tell them that you're all racist, all that stuff goes unchallenged. When they go into the immigrant communities and tell them that you want to kick them all out of the country, that goes unchallenged. We can no longer allow this to happen. We have to start taking our message there, and we have to start presenting the alternative to the Democrats. We cannot concede these cities to the Democrats. If anything, we have to try to neutralize the advantage that they have, but we can't do that unless we start the dialogue, and I plan to start that dialogue. Third major reason why we should be going into the cities. If there's going to be any election fraud, guess where it's going to take place? It's going to take place in one of these cities because it always has. So we cannot concede these cities. I don't plan on conceding these cities. We have to make sure we pick the candidate that has the right message, because